Yeah, so I think we are aware like what to discuss, right? Like last time, as per the discussion, we'll start with our SQL and PL SQL. Okay. So
Sure, sure.
let me give a total overview. What are the technical things we'll be covering as part of our course? Okay. So
Okay.
first of all, like one more thing is like whenever we learn anything, it is always good to get most or get more knowledge on the basic, the foundation one. So
Yes.
the more clarity you have on the foundation, it becomes very easy for you to explore many things. Okay. So now
Yes.
we'll be working on Oracle e-business suite ERP, right? Okay.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so basic question for you. Is it a software or hardware?
It is a software.
Why?
Oracle is a database, right?
So
So where
Oracle,
whatever we
yeah, one more thing.
sorry.
Oracle
Hmm.
e-business suite, is it a database?
Hmm.
Is it
Hmm.
database? I'm asking you, is it a
It
database?
is an ERP. It is an ERP.
So what is the difference between ERP and database?
In ERP, you will be getting like different things will be there,
Mhm.
and in ERP we will be having some sort of datas. Like we will like some thing like if we are storing anything like data, like we will be maintaining some database for that.
Mhm.
And ERP is a like it works on always server, either as a cloud or server.
Mhm. Okay, fine. So anyway, let me give you clarity. So as you said, Oracle e-business suite is a software. Okay.
Yes.
So and what is the definition of ERP? Enterprise resource planning.
So planning.
So why does any enterprise chooses ERP? Why can't they develop their own application, right? So the basic thing is for a bigger organization, see, whenever any organization, specifically Oracle e-business suite, if any company is using Oracle e-business suite, it means that it's a big company. Simple thing. Why? Because
Yes.
this is required for only bigger organization, not just a small 50 employee company. It is generally used for a bigger company, a manufacturing company, or a chemical company, or a logistic company, which is having a turnover of minimum 1500, 10 crores, minimum 10 crores INR. Okay, any company whose turnover is less
Yes.
than that, they cannot afford Oracle e-business suite software. Okay, but
Yes.
what is the need? First of all, we have to understand what is the functionality it will provide and why will the company uses ERP, that we have to have a clarity. So the basic thing is ERP, that as per the definition it says that enterprise resource planning. So I'm not clear on what exactly this means, but let me tell you what it is. So in any enterprise, effective usage of any of the resources will always help out in the business to increase the turnover, right? Nothing but, and let us say you got some items and you need to use in a productive manner. You should not have a wastage, right? More wastage, nobody prefers to have it. And you need to use them
Yes.
appropriately. Let us say during a particular season or during Ramzan or Christmas or Dasra, you will have a more set of items to be produced. In other season, in dead season, you have to produce less items. So it all depends
Yes.
upon your demand, right? Demand, supply chain, everything should be in a appropriate manner. Let us say during a festival season you need to tie up with larger number of vendors. During a normal season it doesn't need any vendors, right? So
Yes.
nothing but using the resource in an effective manner. That is first thing. Another thing is maintaining all the transaction, whatever the transaction which happens in a digitized manner, right? Nothing but the computerized manner. Now,
Yes.
in a bigger organization, when you say a 15 crore turnover company, for each minute you will have at least five purchase order or 10 sales order, which will happening. But as a CEO
Yes.
of the company, how can you manage? Or maybe let us say head of the financial department, you can't go to and you can't go to a particular workshop and find out what is happening, right? You just need a report to
Yes.
find out that. So
Yes.
enterprise resource planning, the specifically the software, it just an software application is a software
Hmm.
application to manage business transactions. That's the purpose of a
Yes.
soft ERP. It's just a simple
Yeah.
software application, right? What is
Yes.
MS Word? MS Word is a software package, right?
Yes.
MS Word or maybe Skype or a Notepad. These are all software applications, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. So e-business suite, and one more important thing is in the e-business suite, specifically in any software, generally you'll have a different set of versions, right?
Yes.
Like maybe if we consider Android, you'll have a version 7, 6, 1, 2, 3, whatever it is, isn't it? You'll have different versions which are goes on, because every time a particular company which develops a particular software, they always tries to enhance the particular content in that, nothing but the functionality, because day by day the what is the complexities will increase, the functionalities which are required by customer also will be in much need. New
Yes.
technology comes into picture that should be adapted into your ERP, right? So that is what you'll have
Yeah.
different versions. So right now what I am aware is the version of eBusiness Suite is 12.2.6, maybe, which was released 2 months back, I think September 2017.
Yeah. R12 to 6.
Okay, and the present
Yes.
version as per our training what we use is 12.13, which got released maybe a 7 years back, I guess 2010. Okay,
Yes.
but I
Yeah.
can surely say that 50% of the customers still on the 12.13. Okay, so
1 3.
and technically, like as a developer it won't affect much. Of course in architecture wise there are a little bit changes, functionality wise there are changes, but technically it won't be that much change for us. Okay,
Yeah. Yes.
and we have to understand the technical stack of eBusiness Suite. What is the technical stack of any software application, or specifically ERP? So technical stack is nothing but technically what are the components involved in this particular one. Okay, software, sorry, front end, middle tier, and back end.
Backend.
Okay, so before giving you the details on technical stack, let me show you the live thing, okay? And then we can discuss again on this. Any questions so far?
Hmm. Continue. I'll ask in that.
Yeah, sure.
Like these videos also will be shared, right,
Y-
Sita?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much.
And now, okay.
Hmm.
So can you see a particular application which I opened? This is your e-business suite,
Absolutely. Yeah.
okay? And this
Yes.
particular software runs in a particular software port, okay? And as this is an enterprise application, it always requires a particular user credentials to be provided. Then only it will work. So let us log into
Yes.
the system now. So whatever you're doing now, nothing but like I opened a particular application in a browser. This is the address of my server, and I'm just clicking on
Yes.
login, right? So whatever you're
Yeah.
seeing this one, this is called user interface, right? As an end
Yeah.
user or enterprise user, you're using the application through this particular interface. So browser is our interface, and whatever you seeing this particular in the browser, this is called user interface. Okay. Now,
Yes.
so whenever I perform nothing but let us say whenever I create any transaction, maybe creating a purchase order or a sales order or a service contract, right? Or maybe creating an employee or generating a payslip, everything is a transaction, right? So
Yeah.
like where it will get stored, as we know that we use a software called database, right? So database is a software to store data.
Yes.
Front end is nothing but a user interface for the user to either perform all CRUD operations, create,
Hmm.
read, update, and delete.
Neat.
Okay.
Yes.
And now let us say if you want to, I'll just perform one simple easy transaction, then we can discuss again. So I'll just, okay. So let me open the database also. So whatever we're discussing today, it's mostly about an overview kind of thing. Okay. So
Yeah.
again, these things will get repeated, but initial session is just most of the basic things to get a clarity, what we are learning, what we going to discuss kind of thing. I'm just
Yeah.
connecting to my database, which is relevant for my e-business suite. So the thing is, your database can also run independently, right? But here in our case,
Yeah.
the database which I'm using is linked to the Oracle ERP. Oracle ERP cannot run without database, but database can run independently also, right? So those flavors are totally
Yes.
different. Okay.
Yes.
So what I will do is I'll just create a particular user. Okay. where user underscore name, I'll just create, sorry, Irfan, right?
Yes.
Okay. So now as of now, there are no records with your name. Now what I will do is
Yes.
I'll just create a user, Irfan, welcome 123, welcome 123. Okay. So now I just
Yeah.
created a user with your name. Now the expectation is that when I reopen my system again, it has to show this particular record. What I will do is now let
Yes.
us say I'll assign a responsibility to this one.
Yes. System administrator.
Okay. So I'll just log out
Yeah.
now.
In the
Right.
beginning, it will ask the password.
Yeah. So
Yes.
now the basic thing we have to understand is we created some data
Yeah.
and that got stored. It's a
Yes.
persistent. So nothing but whatever the information which we entered in the system, it is getting stored in the database, right? So now if I just execute this particular query, it has to show a record, right?
Yeah. It will be
So the
showing.
basic purpose of the database is to
Yes.
store the
Yes.
transactional stuff. Okay.
Yes.
So do you know what do you mean by transaction? I've been telling data and transaction kind of thing, right? What is the thing? What do you mean by transaction? What do you mean by data?
Transaction here.
Yes. Transaction,
See,
data.
whatever hmm,
Hmm.
whatever the operation we performed through the application,
Hmm. Yeah. So the operation, whatever we perform through the software.
like we are creating suppliers, orders, whatever we create, that will develop and the yes.
Mhm.
Hello.
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you.
That will be yeah. That is a transaction comes under transaction, and whatever the purchase order we are creating,
Hmm.
the data that can be considered as a data.
Do you think?
And
Yeah.
suppose if we have been purchased,
Hmm.
sorry, continue.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, and whatever the data, like if we have been when we have created one purchase order,
Hmm.
and whatever the information which you are giving in the purchase order, like towards like from which supplier we are buying,
Hmm.
okay,
Hmm.
from which supplier we are delivering the goods using the
Hmm.
like O2C cycle, like some that can be set to as an information.
No, that's wrong. I'll tell you.
I'm not
Okay. Yeah, no, I'll just want to give a clarity. That's the reason
okay.
yeah, because this is, see, literally, actually, this is, I mean, in real world, this is used interchangeably, okay? In real world, it is just simply used interchangeably,
Okay.
but I just want to give a clarity. So we know, so what is a database? One more important thing. Database is just a software or hardware.
Database is a software or hardware? It's a software.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. So database is just a simple software to store data
Yes.
in a appropriate manner so that the CRUD operations will be in a, I mean, whatever you store, it can be written in an appropriate manner, right? It's a base
The
for
CRUD
data.
operation can be applicable.
Data
Yes.
base. It just stores the
Hmm.
data, right? It's a base
Yes.
for the data.
Hmm.
Now, what do you mean by transactional data? So transactional data is nothing but we are using an Oracle ERP. What is the purpose of our ERP? To maintain our day-to-day operations in a digitized manner. What are the digitized man? What are the
Yes.
day-to-day operation? Nothing but let us say if we consider airfare, what you say, airplane or railway stuff or a bus station. What do they do? Ticketing, right? They need to maintain all the transactional data. So
Yes.
the the purpose of
Yes.
your day-to-day operation nothing but transactional. So that is why it is called transactional data, because it is just one of the purpose. The transaction means nothing but let us say you purchased a
Like
ticket. It's a transaction. You purchased a particular good. It's a transaction.
yes.
That's what the transactional data means.
Hmm.
But coming to information, a little bit different. So in the data, it generally in like as per the definition which I studied long back, maybe 10 or 12 years back, it's called raw facts. We call it as data is nothing but raw fact. So from a transactional data, you cannot find out the relevancy of your business. Nothing but let us say I'm a managing director of a company, and you say that like these are the day-to-day operation. Let us assume that you have performed 1 lakh operations on a particular day, and you just provide that particular total transactional data to me, I cannot understand anything from that. But what I
Yes.
understand is if you provide me the data in appropriate manner, nothing but let us say on Monday on Monday the sales were 1 lakh, on Tuesday the sales were 2 lakhs, on Thursday the sales were 5 lakhs. If you provide me appropriate data in a proper manner, then I can easily understand. That is why information is nothing but processed data. Information is nothing but processed data. It's like, you have a fruit and juice. Juice is nothing but your information. That's how it is. I can say it's just a raw fruit and it's a processed fruit.
Raw fruit. And as a technical developer, may like set the data in a proper manner. That is called information, right?
Yeah, providing a
Inappropriate.
data, providing data, nothing but representational purpose. Generally, like what do you mean by
Yes.
report? What do you mean by report? We generally call like a simple thing, progress report. What is the difference between a progress report and your answer sheet?
Progress will be in a it will be a well mannered.
Yeah, so our parents require progress sheet. That doesn't matter about answer
Yes.
sheets, right? They just
Answer
want
sheet.
the information in appropriate manner so that simply they can put a signature.
Yes.
Okay, clear? That is the difference between
Yes.
data and information. Now,
Information.
so yeah, now one more important clarity we require is user interface. We just saw the user interface where we enter our data, and backend we just observe that where it is getting stored. But what is a middle tier? What is a middle tier?
Yes.
This is very much important, and this is where most of the developer doesn't understand. So before understanding about middle tier, I want to ask few questions. Which programming language you are aware?
Java.
Okay, Java. So what is Java?
Java is a platform independent language,
I'll leave about that.
and
It's
it
just
is
a
a very
software programming language.
yeah, it's a software program language.
Okay. Now,
Yes.
as a developer, this file extension, the source code will be in .java, right? Source code.
Yes. Yeah.
And .class is your compiled code, right?
Compile code. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what is the difference between .java and .class?
Java and class.
Yeah.
Whatever this code which we develop, which we will be save whatever the code we will develop, that we will be seeing .java, and that can be readable in after compiling. That source code will be converted to .class.
Okay. So why can't the machine run .java directly? What is the need of conversion?
In Java, you're asking means we use JVM, Java Virtual Machine.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So anyways, like not to get more on this. So the basic thing is like
Yes.
Java is a developer readable format and .class is a
Yeah.
machine readable format, right? It's just a machine
Yes.
readable format.
Yeah.
And this is a developer readable format. So the basic
Yes.
thing is, why do you like now you have a particular Java? Why can't direct JVM can run Java program? It will not run. The reason is it has to parse. Nothing but let us say I'm talking to you. So how can you understand until unless you parse my instructions, isn't it? Your brain has to parse whatever I'm talking. Then only you can understand, right? A
Yes.
simple thing is you have a food in front of you and you have just taken into your mouth. Until unless your digestive system digests it, it will not enter into your body, right? Or simple your
Yes.
mouth. Until your mouth chews the food, it will not enter into your stomach. So the basic thing
Yes.
is, so there will be a parsing engine in any programming language, not only in Java. Any language you take, you'll have a parsing engine which will convert developer code into machine code. And in some of the system, it will be automatic. In some set of programming language, you may not observe that difference. But generally, this is what happens. And now you have something, a machine readable code. Now directly JVM will run the machine code rather than again reading your source code, isn't it?
Yes.
That is the purpose.
Yeah.
Now, what is a JVM? JVM is again a software or maybe a virtual machine you call it as. Nothing but a runnable runtime engine I will call it as. A runtime
Yeah.
engine to execute your machine code.
Machine code. Yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
can I call JVM as my application server?
Yes, you can.
That is a middle tier then. This is your middle tier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. It's like interface, right? Between.
Yeah, so don't use the term interface. Actually, it is a
Okay.
logical.
Okay.
Logically, it is an interface. But in ERP, if you say interface, it will lead to
That.
other kind of things. So better don't call
Yes. Yes. Yes.
interface. Just say middle tier,
It's a
application
middle
server.
tier. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So in easier terms, an application server is nothing but a runtime engine for your programming. So we just now we got the clarity that why do you require why does a particular application server require a machine code? Because it doesn't need to parse again, right? You have a ready-made code, nothing but let us say you are preparing a food. I'm taking most of the examples on food because I think it is easy to understand. Let us say you are preparing
Yeah.
a food, and what do you
Hmm.
require? You always first of all cut the vegetables and cook the food. Assume that
Yes.
if you have the ready-made things which are available, the initial portion of cutting it, unpacking it is not required for you, right?
Yes.
Directly you
Yeah.
can cook it. It's a ready-made food kind of thing. So the same way, the basic thing is your developer code will get converted to machine code, and your runtime engine will just directly read the machine code because the machine code cannot be generated by the developer. I mean to say the software converts, right? No, as a developer, can you write a machine code? You cannot run it. You cannot write it. Simple,
No.
right? So the
Yes.
machine code, which is an automated generated code through some other compilers, and once it is generated, as a developer, we cannot modify it. If you modify it, it will get corrupted. Simple. You can modify it, but you'll nothing but you're corrupting it. It will not work. Okay.
Yes.
So that is why runtime engine requires a readable machine readable code that so that it doesn't need to recompile again. It doesn't need to reparse it again. Okay. Clear?
Yes. Yes.
So that is nothing but a
Yeah.
middle tier. So middle tier is an application server to run the machine code. In our case, in our Oracle
Yes.
ERP specifically, so we have n number of not n number but as multiple application servers are there. Why do we require multiple application server? Because in Oracle ERP we have multiple tools which are available. Nothing but I can say in easier terms, nothing but you have multiple programming languages which are available, so that you require multiple application servers. Nothing but I know three languages. I need three
Yes.
parsers, right? Now I know Telugu, Hindi, English. So I required three parsers to run those particular interfaces to to understand those languages. I mean, the same way,
Yes.
now within the Oracle ERP, we have some set of different tools. So what are those tools? We have the front end user interface. Like let me write here. We generally call it as RISE, or maybe later say
Component.
yeah, either way, RISE, W, F, and OF. These are the
Yeah.
different tools which are available in the Oracle ERP. So in the reports again there are two ways, two things: RDF and XML
And
publisher.
Excel. Yes.
So interface conversion, leave it as of now. Extensions also leave it. And this is a workflow, forms.
Forms and Oracle application framework.
Okay. Now this is a
Yeah.
Java programming language. This is a
Yes.
FMP, nothing but Oracle proprietary code, right? Maybe what I remember is
Yes.
this is developed using C++. And workflow,
Okay.
this again a proprietary tool. No programming language, we are not sure what Oracle has used internally, right? So this requires its own engine. Workflow requires its own engine. Forms require its own engine. OF requires its own engine. And RDF reports requires its own engine. And XML publisher also requires its own engine. Nothing but there are, as of now, there are 5 different engines we require because each is a different, right? The Java of OAF is not relevant for the RDF report. I mean to
Yes.
say the library which is required, right? The application server which need to execute, because FMB works on a C++ environment, OAF works on a Java environment. Workflow, it specifically runs on your database kind of environment. Database has its own set of application server. Internally, it will have workflow engine, something like that. Okay, so there are multiple application servers involved. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. Simple thing is when your programming language is different, you require a different runtime engine. That's it.
Yes.
Now, so coming to the basic thing, where do you require SQL and PL SQL? So
Yeah.
interface or conversion. So interface is nothing but when you are using a particular software application, specifically in our Oracle ERP, so you require integration with the different ERPs also. So why do we require? What is the
Yes.
need of that? You'll understand that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So simple thing is let us say when you go to any of the supermarket, let us say Big Bazaar. When you go to a Big Bazaar, right? So let us say I am the what you say, the salesperson, right? And you are the customer. Okay.
Okay.
Now assume that I'll just write Irfan. Irfan is a customer. Irfan came to Big Bazaar, right? BB, right? Sales. So let us assume that you purchased goods of worth 1,000 rupees. Okay, you have done a purchase
Yeah.
of goods of 1,000 rupees. Now, for you, like what do you do? You'll pay an amount of 1,000 rupees, 1,000 rupees to Big Bazaar, right? And in
Yes.
return, what do you get?
Yes.
In return, you'll get goods
Goods.
from the Big Bazaar. Okay, and there are two scenarios we have to think. Let us say from Irfan point of view and from the Big Bazaar point of view. Two ways we can think. Now for you have done some purchase, right? It will become purchase order for you, right? PO.
Yes. Purchase order.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now for me, from a Big Bazaar
Yes.
salesman
Yeah.
points of view, it is my sales order. Agree?
Yes. Sales order.
Okay. The difference between a sales order and purchase order.
Yes.
Assume that
Yes.
you are a enterprise. You are part of an enterprise. Nothing but like Irfan belongs to a company. Nothing but maybe Tata Motors. So you belong to Tata Motors where you're buying a particular set of material from a particular company. Then what you have to do, whatever you buy, you have to create in your Tata Motors company as a purchase order. Or maybe leave it this one. I'll
Yes.
give a clarity on this. Let us say, assume that we have two companies, Tata Motors and what do you call?
Sony Enterprises.
Okay, assume that Tata Enterprise and Sony Electronics. Okay. Now, so assume that Tata Motors need to buy a sound system from Sony Enterprise. Okay, they want to buy sound systems from Sony Electronics. Now, Tata Motors is an enterprise, right? So who will represent Tata Motors to
Yes.
buy a product from Sony Electronics? Sony Electronics is also another enterprise. So what do we do is,
Yes.
like from a Tata Motors perspective, there will be some set of employees who will have a role called purchase order supervisor role.
Yes.
Not
They
all
will purchase
employees,
the goods
yeah,
from Sony
right.
Electronics.
Yes, they'll purchase, you can say raw material or maybe whatever it could call, the audio system, whatever you call, they'll buy from
Yeah.
Sony Electronics.
For every. Yes.
Okay, and for
And for
Tata,
every employee, there will be no access for them.
yes, it depends upon the designation, right? It's an enterprise application.
Yes, that's what.
Hmm.
Yeah, I was saying that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it will be a purchase order for you, and from Sony, it is a sales order. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And now coming to the interfaces and conversion. So interfaces and conversion is nothing but, let us say, so interfaces comes into picture. Let us talk about interfaces first. Okay. Interfaces, there are two types, inbound and outbound. Okay. So
Yes.
before understanding this one, let us say, assume that like you have your own ERP application. So you are a manufacturing company. Okay. Irfan Goods and Services. Okay. Now what you want to do is like you want to implement another software application which will integrate with your ERP. Assume that you are an Oracle ERP already. Okay. But due to some particular functionalities which are not available in Oracle ERP, you want to design, you want to get some other software to be designed that will integrate with your system. Okay.
Yes.
Then what do you do? Whatever data which you have in Oracle ERP should be readable to some other software, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, or maybe other easier thing is, let us say, simple thing is like leave management app. So as per your company, you want to design a mobile app called leave management app. So as an employee of your organization, so what I prefer to is I just want an app so where I can apply leave and my supervisor can approve. Okay. Now the data has to flow from your Oracle ERP to this particular
Yes.
application, right? So now From Oracle ERP, the data has to flow to you to your mobile app, right? Vice versa also. I have to read my data. I have to read the data in my mobile app, and I also should be capable enough to update the data in the Oracle ERP also, isn't it? It's a to and fro.
Yes.
It should be to and fro.
Yeah.
So the simple thing is, whenever data is entering into Oracle, we call it as inbound. Whenever you're sending the data outside, it's called outbound. That's the only difference. If you are sending some data
Yes.
to inside into Oracle, it is called inbound, and if you are retrieving some data, it's called outbound. Okay. So the extraction manner depends
Yes.
upon in many number of ways. When you say outbound, let us say whatever data which I have in my Oracle ERP, can you extract in a particular file, like maybe a CSV or maybe a PDF or a text format, XML format? This is called outbound. You are extracting some data from your ERP in an appropriate manner. We call this outbound. And if you're pumping some data into Oracle ERP, but how do you pump the data? Nothing but Oracle ERP understands whatever it is available in database. Until it is something is available in database, it cannot understand. Because as a business user, I don't know what is available in database. I can just validate what is available in the forms, in the user interface. Business user can understand what is available through the user forms, right? Through the user interface. He cannot understand what is
Yes.
available in the database. It doesn't know what is available in the backend. It doesn't care about that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll not get much deeper into interface as of now, but so when you say interface nothing but you have a
Mm.
particular software, and there is a need for your organization to map to use the data which is available in your ERP through the other system. Then you'll get through the interfaces.
Yes.
Okay, got clarity?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Any other question now?
Mm. You only ask. I'll give if possible. I'll try for that.
Okay,
You may ask the questions.
fine. So are you from electronics background or software background? IT background? Which branch?
Computer science. Computer
Computer.
science.
Okay. Then you should be aware of a particular course called software engineering, right? And software life cycle.
Yes.
Software life cycle.
Yes.
So what?
SDLC.
Yeah,
Software
SDL.
Development License.
Yeah, SDLC. So now, so like one basic thing is now you already have a Oracle ERP software which is available, and as a developer, what we
Mm-hmm.
do, because when something is already available, we are not we are not implementing anything, right? Nothing but we will not be designing any new component at all. Okay, we'll design, but one basic thing is
Yeah.
you have a ready-made product. Why does it require developer for a customer? Nothing but, let me tell you again clearly here. uh, I'll take again the maybe let us say Airtel. So Airtel telephone services. Okay, Airtel is a telephone service company, and which they want to use Oracle ERP for their internal operation purpose. Now, so Oracle ERP is provided by who? Oracle, right? Oracle company. He's a vendor for the Oracle ERP software,
Yes.
right? Now Oracle has already designed a software, and Airtel is purchasing it. So why does it require developers? What do we do first of all? If something is already available, Airtel can simply get it, install it. Then why does it require developers? It just requires a normal, Oracle will install the software. That's it, right? Why do you require developers or consultants?
Yes.
Okay. So before getting into this one, I'll tell
Here
another.
again.
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah. Continue with that.
So generally, like now, let us say, assume that you just got an AC. Okay. And
Mm.
if you buy a
Mm.
product AC which costs around 25 to 50,000, you have a warranty,
Mm.
right? Whenever you get any issue, you'll
Yeah.
just call the vendor to provide a service. Okay, that is one
Yes.
story. Assume that you just bought a particular device or maybe a tube light, which is just a 50 rupees, right? It is use and throw. If it doesn't work, you just simply throw. You'll get a new one, isn't it?
Yes.
So some particular applications or nothing but appliances, I meant to say, some particular appliances which require a service. Without that, it will not work. Nothing but let us say I have a purifier which require service for every 1 year. I need to change the candles. I need to buy new candles, and I need a dedicated service for every 1 year, because as a home user, I doesn't know how to fit that particular pipeline or candle, isn't it?
Yes.
Now, in this Oracle ERP also, so you have Oracle has designed a particular software, okay? And one more important thing is the way Airtel runs doesn't mean that Vodafone also will run in the same way, isn't it? Vodafone also likes red,
Yes.
Airtel also likes red, doesn't mean both are same, right?
Yes.
So the basic thing is the
Yep.
way their business operates, or the way they have their margins, the way they perform the transactions, everything will be different. But as a Oracle, assume that both Vodafone and Oracle both are using Oracle ERP. So now Oracle Airtel business model is a little bit different. Vodafone business model is a little bit different. So who will configure that? Oracle will not configure it, right? Let us say you are buying a jeans pant from your Big Bazaar. Will Big Bazaar will design the goods according to you until unless you are a celebrity, isn't it?
Yeah.
Big
Yes.
Bazaar just designs the product considering a generic people, 34, 32, 36, whatever it is, right? It doesn't design
Yes.
34.5, 34.9 because your font size is 34.9, isn't it?
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
what I'm trying to tell you is Oracle designs a software in a generic manner. Now the the ven-
Yeah.
the, so- the business enterprises which are buying it, they have to configure according to their business requirements. So that is where the developers will come into
Yes.
picture. Configuration.
Come. Yeah.
So in this again, there are multiple people. One is technical consultants, functional
Yes.
consultants,
Functional.
and
Yes.
the ERP DBA. Okay, because
Yeah.
everyone will have their own skill.
DB.
Okay,
Yes.
so the basic thing is ERP DBA is responsible for applying patches, installing this particular software. These all things will be done by the DBA. Coming to
DB.
functional consultant, they will be just mapping their business requirements to the Oracle ERP. Now let us say you have some requirement.
Oracle ERP.
So these functional consultants has to tell that, okay, if you want to perform a purchase order, you have to go to purchasing order super responsibility, open the purchase order. They have to tell that. These particular people will configure that,
Yes.
because nothing
Yes.
but let us say Airtel is
Yes.
having operations across. Let us consider simple our state Telangana. In Telangana there are 10
Hmm.
places Airtel has to operate. But as a CEO of this
Yes.
Airtel, how do I know that from which place I'm getting a particular transaction? Nothing but from which particular place, how much profit or how many transactions are happening. Nothing but for each place I
Yes.
have to create a particular function, what you say, mapping, right?
Yes.
Right? Nothing but simple. Let us say you have a franchise business, and if you want to know from which particular franchisee how much profit you are getting, you need to identify from franchise number, right?
Yes.
Okay. The same way, this functional consultant will create or configure the ERP according to the business of the enterprise. Okay, that is
Yeah.
the responsibility of functional consultant. And what is the responsibility of technical consultant? Consultant is, as we just now discussed, that ERP is a generic software. It may not suit every requirement, right? There are some particular configurations which these particular people will do, and we also need to design some new components. Nothing but we can be designing a new pages, we can be designing a new reports. Let us say Oracle by default will provide some set of
Yeah.
reports, but they may not satisfy
Yeah.
every client. They may need to
Yes.
they may need to design some extra components that will be provided by functional people as well as the business people, both.
Yes.
Okay, that is where the technical people will come into picture.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So where are we actually? We are working on software life cycle, right? So why I'm telling all this thing is because when you buy a software, it's not just a one-time use, right? Now let us say I just install Oracle ERP,
Yeah.
that's it. There is no need of any developer. You cannot say that because it is enterprise application which require constant management, right? So maybe if you
Yeah.
remember,
It
it will.
depends on daily transaction.
Yep, of course. So you'll have something called implementation, right? And support.
Yes. Yes.
So
Absolutely.
right? So when you are implementing
Yes.
your product for the first time, it is called implementation, and then you require a constant support. Nothing but let us say I bought a water filter, but I require a support every year. isn't it? It's just a simple product. But
Yeah.
when I buy a 1 crore product, I require a service every day. Nothing but you have an
Yes.
apartment of 100-story building. Do you require support every day,
Mhm.
24 by 7 or not?
Yes, absolutely.
Simple. Let us say I have a single house. I doesn't require support. I just call on support whenever I require. So it all depends upon the criticality of a business, right? So
Yes.
in this particular case,
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
ERP, just now we discussed, it's a very critical application for the business. The bigger enterprise only will afford it. So as per the bigger enterprises, they have transaction every day. They have to run 24 by 7. They require support also 24 by 7. Simple.
Yes.
Okay. The software lifecycle here is like again it goes to many things, right? Like
Testing, maintaining,
yeah,
maintenance.
requirement gathering, right? And then
Yes.
build, testing, right? And yeah,
Maintaining.
support, yeah, test, maintenance, user approval, maintenance, and support is all things. It goes on. It
Yeah.
goes on. The life cycle goes on. I would have
Yeah.
missed something, but this is a general thing. Requirement
Yeah.
to testing kind of thing. Okay.
Yes.
So
Yes.
this is the overall overview of Oracle ERP. And
Yeah.
one more important thing is what are the type of Oracle ERP projects in real time? Let us say you get some requirement from Naukri or some websites, right? Like we have a Oracle ERP opening for this particular thing. So generally,
Hmm.
the type of projects which may get called support projects or implementation project, or it can be an upgrade project also. So support project means nothing but simple example. I'll try to tell you in a normal real time kind of thing rather than from a software specific. Let us say I have a 12-story apartment. It is already ready and everything is working,
Hmm.
but I just need some extra
Hmm.
support for my electricity maintenance. That is a support project.
That's
Nothing but Oracle ERP is totally implemented. Some other client has already some other software vendor has already implemented. I just need some support to enhance my functionality or to design a new requirement, something like that. That is a support project.
yes.
Implementation is nothing but from the scratch building, from scratch. Nothing is available as of now. We just need to implement the total configuration from scratch. So generally
Yes.
implementation projects will be it varies from 3 months to 2 years also. It varies from 3 months to two
Yes.
years. And of course, after implementation, everyone has to go to support. It's not that after implementation, there is nothing. It's not like that. They have to go to support. There is no chance they can escape. Impossible.
Yes.
Okay. Or they may have in-house support. Okay.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
and coming to upgrade, nothing but let us say it's like, generally you upgrade your software, right? You upgrade your software. Nothing but let us say 10 years back you just built only one floor building and today you want to have one more floor on the existing floor. That is an upgrade. You're just upgrading based on
Like
your
we can,
business. Yeah.
yeah, we can take an example. Like right now, we are using R12 1.3, right?
Yes.
Now it's came to
Well,
2.6. That is an upgrade comes in now.
yes. That's what.
Yeah.
This is software upgrade. Of course, like there are maybe if you are not aware, there is a version
Hmm.
called 11.510. This is one of the famous version of Oracle ERP in R11 actually. So there are at least
Okay.
15% customers still on R11 also. So these
Still.
upgrade projects will also come into picture now.
Okay.
So do you know EMRI? Government?
No.
Government project?
No, I don't know.
Are you from Hyderabad?
What is EMRA stands?
Are you from Hyderabad?
Yeah, I'm from Hyderabad.
You never saw 104? 108? Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, so I have seen.
So this particular ambulance, they use in the background, they use Oracle ERP 11.510.
Okay. Oh, really?
EMRI, emergency response, something is there. Okay.
Okay.
Mm.
Hmm.
And even the land registration, they use Oracle ERP. And even Airtel uses Oracle ERP. Vodafone uses Oracle ERP. Tata Motors uses Oracle ERP. The lot number of vendors are there.
Hmm. What is the difference between ERP and cloud?
Okay. So coming to cloud, see, there is no difference. First of all, there is no link at all. But
Yeah.
link is there,
No.
but okay, I'll tell you. So now,
I'll. Mhm.
so there is something called on-premise as well as on cloud. Okay. So
Hmm.
what do you mean by on-premise is nothing but so let us say as a client you want to configure your Oracle ERP on your system. What do? You will buy your hardware and
Hmm.
on this hardware you will be installing the software. This is called on-premise.
Hmm.
Now on cloud is nothing but, let us say, as a client, I want the software, but I don't want to install in my hardware. I want you to take care of that. That is
As
on
a
cloud.
rent, we
That's it. In easy
yeah
terms, cloud is nothing but an hardware on rent. This is not
on
true
rent.
always.
Yes,
This is not true always, but generally, logically, you can call it
it's
that.
a
Yeah.
yeah.
So in one more
Like
important,
it is
yes.
to buy an ERP. It is very inexpensive, and we are taking a cloud as an application from the Oracle, right?
Come again.
Suppose my company is there, and my turnover is a yearly 15, like 10 crores, 8 crores only.
Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm.
I'm thinking I don't want to buy a separate application for my
Hmm.
company, so I
Okay.
will be applying for the cloud from the Oracle.
Okay. So I'll clarify that. See,
Hmm.
cloud, cloud is, don't consider cloud is cheap. Cloud is costly.
Okay.
Cloud is not
Very
cheap.
yeah.
Cloud is not cheap at all. Why does cloud
Okay.
preferred by many of the vendors? Because you have, let us say, just now initially we discussed about festival season, right? So in a given year,
Yes.
generally the sales will be booming. Sales will be very much high in a particular 4 months period, maybe during Christmas, Ramzan, or Dasra, or Diwali, right? Generally 3 months.
Yes.
So out of 12 months, 3 months will be very peak. So do you think that during that period, should I buy some separate hardware? Nobody prefers to buy separate hardware only for 3 months in a given year, right?
Yes.
So what they prefer is the cloud
They
provides elasticity, right? Nothing but it's a pay on usage, nothing but buy today I want extra hardware, tomorrow it doesn't require. That's how it is,
okay.
right? That is why it's like hardware
Yeah.
on rent. So
Yes. Yes.
it is so don't say cost is the only factor for cloud. Even I used to say that, but after the clarity, I'm just saying this.
Okay.
So
I'll change my mind.
yeah, cloud is not
Yeah.
just only for the purpose of cost. Cost generally should not be compared. Cost may not be equal or same or more. It depends.
Yeah.
It is more
Yes.
about the expanding your business on a particular requirement, or it can be updating in a very faster manner, or integration also very much becomes easy on a cloud applications, right? That is the reason. In the
Yes.
cloud also, now, as a customer, when you say Oracle e-business suite, as of now, Oracle is providing e-business suite on the on-premise model, but on-cloud model is also there for e-business suite. Okay, and now
Mm.
one more thing you have to understand is when a particular, now maybe if you're aware of something called Salesforce,
Yeah. Salesforce,
Workday,
AWS, Workday.
okay, and AWS is just a, it's a day-to-day user term, day-to-day use term by many of the people, but now there is a difference between Salesforce and AWS. Okay, don't say they both are same. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Salesforce is an ERP, and we generally call
Mm.
it as SaaS. This SaaS is not equal to
Okay.
the other SaaS which is there in the market. That is different. What I'm saying is SaaS model. I mean to say software
Okay.
as a service. It's a software as a service.
Okay.
Okay. So most of the ERPs now they're providing their software in the SaaS model. I mean to say now from Oracle we have something called Oracle Fusion Cloud, or you can also call it as Oracle ERP Cloud. So Oracle is
Yes.
having their own new ERP called Oracle Fusion Cloud, and that is a SaaS model. E-Business Suite is not SaaS model as of now. Workday is a SaaS model. Human Factors is a SaaS model. Ariba is a SaaS model, and even Microsoft Dynamics, I'm not sure, but what do you call NetBeans? No, not NetBeans. Oracle
Consider
NetSuite.
Java.
NetSuite. NetSuite.
Okay.
NetSuite is a SME, like a medium scale enterprise ERP application, which is a SaaS model. So when you say SaaS
Yes.
model, hardware and software, everything will be taken care by them. You just need to subscribe. That's it. Let us say you'll say that no, my company is a manufacturing company. I require your software as a service for 15 users for 10 years.
Mm.
That's it.
Okay.
Simple subscription. That's it. Subscription based model.
Okay. And how much usage of we are using, that much we have to pay.
It
It,
depends.
it
Like
depends on usage.
there are many factors. They will ask you like how much RAM you want to get provided, how much database you want to provide. The lot number of things will come into picture. In the cloud, again, you have something
Yes.
called public, private, and hybrid. Now,
Yes.
let us say you want to take a particular room in a particular big hotel, and depends upon whether you want to have a private or a sharing mode or a public mode. Depends, right? That's how it is.
Yes.
So on a cloud also,
Yes.
if you are a private, it's nothing but on a particular hardware, only your data will be there. No other person data will be there. And if it is a public, it's a public. Everyone.
Yes.
And if it is a hybrid, it's a mix of both, public and private. Nothing but you have a 2-floor building. In one floor you'll be using, and the second floor some other people will be using. It's a mix of
Yes.
public and private. Okay. So it is not easy to understand in just in 1 hour, in a 1 hour session. It'll take much time to understand on cloud kind of thing. Okay. So,
Yes.
and yeah, coming to AWS. So in AWS, it is just mostly hardware and rent kind of thing. Of course, there are many other things which are coming from Amazon also. Just read on it if you're interested. Generally, as of now, I know is hardware on rent.
Okay.
And but there are some particular things they are providing now, like a database as a cloud service, or a what do you say, what do you call
AWS
application.
comes under networking. AWS is like I'm not I don't have any clarity, but AWS can be considered as a networking.
See, networking is different, boss. Networking is about, like providing a network to your computers. AWS is a cloud platform providing hardware on
Oh,
rent. Google
rent.
Cloud,
Okay.
Google Cloud,
Yeah.
AWS,
Yeah. Got it.
and Microsoft Azure.
Got it.
These are all cloud providers. They provide software as
Yes.
well as hardware both on rent. Even Amazon also is having some set of applications on rent. Nothing but simple example I'll tell you. You're a small company and you don't want to buy hardware, but you require a particular database. You require a proprietary database or enterprise
Yeah.
database to be available. Okay, what do?
Yes.
Simply you'll go to Google Cloud, you'll buy some hardware from them, and you'll install the database on that. That's it. You'll use for some time, and based on your business, whether you ramp up or ramp down. That's it.
Yeah. Right.
Fine.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So go through some
Yeah.
set of terminologies, keywords. Okay, it will take some time to understand. Fine.
Yeah.
Well,
Like
fine.
tomorrow,
Yeah. We'll try to meet tomorrow same time again.
9:30.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.